Hi everybody, this is Dave and I'm doing a little story here about my 2007 Audi A6 Avant. I bought this vehicle in 2012 and it now has 146,000 miles on it. I love it. It's quick enough to get me in trouble. It handles well enough and cruises like a dream, gets excellent mileage with the 3.2 liter V6. The only really beef I have, and it's a major beef, is around the drain plugs, which eventually got me into trouble and shorted out my MMI entertainment system. So this video is really about my workaround for the entertainment system. When I started looking at this, I went to the dealer. They wanted a ridiculous amount of money. I said, no, thank you. I went to a local shop here in Western North Carolina that specializes in German cars, and they wanted $1,800 and told me that my MMI control module was inoperative. I wasn't ready to spend that. I went to a second local German specialty dealer repair shop, and they told me that none of the obvious modules were broken. Not the amp, not the radio navigation, not the CD player, not the MMI control module, but they would be willing to look into it at $80 an hour and tear up the floors and do whatever they needed to do. I said no thank you. So rather than spend all of that money with questionable results, I thought about it for a while and wondered what would it be like to bypass the MMI entertainment system entirely. Plug in an amp, and the last thing that goes out is an analog signal to the speakers. I found out that there was a product made by Kenwood that would do exactly that and connect to my phone via Bluetooth. With this in mind, I did a little more looking and found a installer in my area that could help me out. So this is what the installation looks like. This is the side and back of the Avant, where the old MMI system is. The upper component is a Cadence XAM 400.2 two-channel amplifier that controls the woofers. The module on the bottom is a Kenwood KAC M1824BT compact Bluetooth 4-channel digital amplifier. These units were installed for me by Stereo Man here in Asheville, North Carolina. Did a beautiful job. He was as excited about this workaround as I was, and still am for that matter. And I will put his contact information if you have any technical questions or what have you. He would be available to answer those. Also, I don't know if you can see, but here there's a little bit of water staining. It's the blue windshield washer color, which indicates that this vehicle has had the same problem that many of the Avants do, where the rear window washer leaks and runs down onto the amplifier. I don't have it installed yet, but I will be putting a piece of plastic over the amps, and my sound man tells me that these amps do not put out much, if any, heat, so covering them in plastic will not hurt them. Okay, so here we are sitting in the driver's seat, and you can see the Bluetooth receiver and the volume control for the Kenwood amplifier mounted here next to the gear shift. Nice handy place. My arm sits right on the armrest. Volume control, pause, back, forward, it all works and connects to the phone and manages the phone that way too, which is really cool. What would be even cooler was if the cord on this device, the control device, was a little bit longer, and then I would be able to mount it inside the ashtray. And while this is livable, inside the ashtray would really be very nice. So I think I'm going to write Kenwood and see if they'll make me up a unit to go there, and that would be ideal. Otherwise, I just love the way this is. Of course, the proof is in the pudding, so let's turn on some music and see. Here's my iPhone 4S mounted up high. It's on a stand, a suction cup mounted to the old MMI screen, which I really don't need anymore. So let's see. Oops, it's not the one I wanted. Let's try this one. Okay, found the song I want. How about a little volume?
There's a place I often go where I can find.
How about a little more volume?
Come on, everybody, I'll meet you there. It's a place that clears my mind. It's so close, it's not hard to find. Come on, everybody, I'll meet you there. I'll meet you in the morning before the world begins. Give up the same old soul.
So as you can see in here, I can turn up the volume on the phone and then turn up the amplifier. That was loud enough to get the rear view mirror shaking, which is more than loud enough for an old guy like me. And what else? Of course, I have all of the functionality of the iPhone here. I can receive phone calls, send that through Bluetooth, and I did need to make an adjustment in the settings of the iPhone in order to make sure it went to Bluetooth. Let's try, I don't know, I won't try any radio stations right now. Of course, I have my maps, and since this card does not have navigation originally, I was always using my iPhone for maps anyway. So this works just fine. I have my maps. In fact, any app that you can get for your mobile device will work, and if there's a sound aspect to that app, it will run through Bluetooth. So, and that includes engine diagnostics, you name it. This is really cool. At this point, I have more functionality through my iPhone 4S than I did through the original MMI system. I do not have the functionality of the keys on the steering wheel for volume and what have you, changing radio stations. But the only radio stations I listen to are Pandora and Radio Paradise and Empower Music, Positive Music. So I'm not missing the radio stations. In fact, with all the apps, I'm not missing anything except a big price tag. So I hope this is helpful to you. Please get back to me if you like what you've seen or you have questions. If you have questions about the installation, give Stereo Man, Asheville, North Carolina. Give him a shout. He's wonderful, and I'm sure he'd be able to help you out. Good luck with your projects. Thanks for looking at this.